Hello, 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 hello. I'm Lynn Browder, and I have a son, Owen, who is 11 and has autism. And I share our journey every day. I've been writing for years about our journey, and so you can check us out on sweetbaby.o.com or on Facebook, Sweet Baby O and Sweet Baby O Designs to share our artwork. Oops, there's a thick part there. So I generally paint a lot of flowers. I used to say I painted a lot of roostas. I have to say roostas. That cracks me up. I have to, it makes my heart happy. So you gotta do what makes your heart happy. So I now am painting a lot of crosses and wings and different things like that. And today is one of those days. It's hard for me to even say or think about, or oh boy, I lost my brother a little over, well, it's going on 2 years. All the math of months and days and all of that just gets complicated. It's not quite 2 years. So it's still very emotional to me. I don't know that it ever will stop being very emotional to me, but I know that's like one of the things that's a current when you have these moments where you lose someone or something changes in your life. You go through the rinse and repeat. We'll just go through that. And so you have the emotions, and then you have the emotions again. And you have the emotions again in my mind. So I'm trying to kind of get them even. It doesn't technically matter at this point. I'm just kind of getting a base because this is pretty much going to be all covered, but I want a base on there so I know where I'm painting over it. If that makes any sense to it makes sense in my brain when I'm painting. So I do this. It also is nice to do finger painting occasionally because, that just being in the muck of it all, that's the, it just is a good stress reliever, I guess is the right thing. So that's the general gist. And I need to cut my nails because I've tried all the different things, the different vitamins and everything, and they help my nails grow, but they grow very crooked. And so I need to cut them because no matter what I try, they're crooked. But that's okay. So my brother was an outdoorsman. So I thought I would just make this kind of a camo-ish looking thing set here. That's my goal. And I have to be careful when I'm painting because I put way too much paint on my paintbrush. If you've watched before, you know that's That's my jam. I put way too much paint on my paintbrush. Way too much paint. And I can say it like 1,000 times because it happens quite frequently. And then what happens is when that happens, I drop paint. And so then I have blobs in not the places I want, and then we have to adapt. So not always, but a lot of the times, if you see the splotchy paintings where I take the brush and kind of flick the paint in different areas, that is because I have put extra paint on my paintbrush and need to get it figured out. So, now that I've told all, that's my secret. It's not, I tell every time. But, so I'm trying to be a little more cautious of that, but that does not mean a thing, truly, because it will just completely get out there. So, here we are. But I'm kind of liking the colors. I had thought in my head I was going to do, he liked fishing a lot. And so I thought about doing a fishing, I can never say the word right. Well, it's not that hard, but it always in my head rings wrong. A lure. That's just a weird, words fascinate me and baffle me, and the English language, it's hard. It is extremely hard to me. One of the things I've been battling with today is the fact that technically it is my brother's birthday because he was born on August 16th, but it was his birthday because he passed away. Or is that the right way to say it? English language, I'm telling you. It's hard because in my mind, it should be that it was his birthday, but then that has a whole nother thing to it as well. So I spiral. I spiral a lot with his whole birthday and when things are happening kind of thing. So I try not to delve too deep in it and let it just be as it is. And so that's what we're going to do. We're just going to let it be as it is, and I'm not going to focus on it. But I wanted to explain it. I wanted to over-explain it. That's what I really wanted to do. Does anyone else have an over-explainer in their life? If you don't have an over-explainer in your life, then I highly encourage you to get one, because then we're good at talking a lot, and if you need someone to keep you awake on trips or at parties, this is the perfect job for the over explainer, and that would be me. You gotta laugh at yourself, right? Because I might be a little sleepy. We had the internet catastrophe. I know everyone's gone through it, I'm sure, once or twice or 1,000 times, where your internet just does not work. How is this even possible that the internet can ever go out? But it happens quite frequently, right? So this does not go over well with Owen, ever. But we got it working again. It took several hours on the phone with the tech support and new equipment and just a lot of emotions, because I breathe, I laugh, I cry, I breathe, I laugh, I cry. it's emotional. And something like that is not an easy thing for my son. He just doesn't understand. How is it possible that the internet doesn't work? And how do you even explain it? Such a random thing, the internet, that we're able to, look at things all over the world and able to pull up these videos, and we're able to talk to each other, and it's a beautiful thing. But when it doesn't work, this is not a good thing. And there's no way to explain it to them. There's no way to say, you are going to get your internet back, I promise. Because that is such a random thing for him. He doesn't even know that that should be an issue. Because the internet should always be there. And I concur. I wish it was never a problem. But that's okay. We have to adapt. And each time we have an experience like this, I try to talk to him about it and explain to him why it's even happening. But something that might take me 1 or 10 times to learn can take him 100 times to learn, or 200 or 1,000, literally 1,000 times to learn something. And then there's other things, like any of us, that we get quickly. But certain concepts and certain ways of doing things, those are just not things that come naturally for him. So it's finding a way to express it, explain it, make it happen, make it better, make it right for him before he doesn't get it. So that's what we've done today, is worked on how to, have something that we really truly want that we can't have in that moment. I pray. I just pray, because that's hard to explain. It's hard for me to understand. So if I have a hard time understanding it, I certainly have a hard time explaining it. So that's what we had today. We had a moment in time trying to explain a moment in time, and it's difficult. It's extremely difficult. But we got through it, and we have internet again, and that's the mostly important part. Helping Owen learn to cope in situations like that is a big part of what I have to accomplish with him, and what all of us have to work on, me included, because it's our expectations that get us in those moments. And learning to use expectations to motivate ourselves, but not to control ourselves, that's completely different. And this experience was hard on him, but he grew, and he's learning, and he did amazing in the experience, even though it was very nerve-wracking for me, because when your child is screaming or upset and wants you off the phone when you need to be on the phone to rectify the problem that we're having, which is increasing his emotions, his anxiety, his, everything. So it's kind of one of those things that the more I can teach him, the more I can learn, the more I can control my emotions, my mindset, and be calm in those moments. So that's where we were at. That's what we did. Now, sometimes when I do these wings, I leave them as is and don't do anything else to them. And sometimes I put a cross in the middle. Sometimes I build them up and kind of pull them over here. But that's not what I did today, as you can see, for the pulling it down. So I'm trying to decide if I want to do the cross, and I have one of my brushes. Oh, I hit the camera thing. I was just kind of pull and pull across. So let's see what we do. If I've got extra. Let's see, I need it to be. So I think the answer is yes, I'm doing it. Sometimes I don't know if I'm actually going to do something until I start to do it. So the answer is yes, I did it. Yes. And I like it kind of a little like not. Ooh, I just stuck my paintbrush all in there. I like it to have that extra little texture and everything. So that's what's kind of good about using the thicker brush like that, to be able to pull, you know, some of my other colors in there. And I like the rough edge because it kind of makes, in my mind, like wood. So that's that. And I think I'm going to add a couple more little flares here. Sometimes I like it to go like almost intertwine with the cross. Just so it, you know, it's like in it. So there we go. I'm not going to do too much more because I get a little slap happy with some of this stuff, and then we got it going everywhere, and we don't need that. So here we go. And then I always sign O for Owen, because he is the foundation of what I paint. And then L and B. So there we go. And I think I need one more little, just sometimes I want it to like have a little different shade or something. This seems like a little open to me in there. Just a couple extra. And they're never even, but it's okay. See, that's the response to everything. It's okay. Whatever happens, happens, right? So, now, that's for my brother. I miss my brother. So, this is the extra paint, and I take the brush and move this around, and I'll flatten that out a little bit more. And I make the paint blob, my paintbrushes are moving there, paint blob jewelry and keychains and different things. So these are little paint blobs. I spread out the paint and it dries in a couple days, and then eventually those will be on my website. So all right, well, thank you for watching and being a part of our journey. So have a great rest of your day. Toodles.